host. Please unmute, sir.
Okay, thank you, and I believe everyone can hear me. Toastmasters membership. What joining the Toastmasters Club can do for you? What joining the Toastmasters Club can do for you? I see a lot of Toastmasters in this room, and pretty much 90% of those of us in this call are Toastmasters. However, I am going to start with what exactly is Toastmasters? What is this Toastmasters that we're talking about? Toastmasters is a global nonprofit headquartered in the United States. The aim of Toastmasters is to empower people to become more effective communicators and leaders. And it does this via the network of its members, over 360,000 members in over 16,000 clubs. So Pssdc is one of 16,200 other clubs across the world in about 145 countries of the world. Toastmasters is also an effective provider of dynamic high-value experiential communication and leadership skills. Pretty much, this is what Toastmasters does. And Toastmasters delivers this experience through clubs like the one that we're in across the world. This is a map of the world that shows Toastmasters by club, by country. And of course, this is a very outdated chart because this is for 2019. I wonder what I was doing in 2019. However, this shows the scale of Toastmasters. Almost in all the countries of the world, we have Toastmasters. And to show you how archaic and outdated this map is, I'll just point out some things in our district. This is Mauritania, and at the moment, for those of us in Abuja, we would have seen that we had about 3 people that actually came from Mauritania that attended the conference. This would be Democratic Republic of Congo. At the moment, we have clubs there. This is Congo. At the moment, we have clubs there. Yes, for these other parts, we plan to expand over there. And with the new districts that we're building, one of our goals actually is to cover these parts up. But yes, this map is so outdated. But this tells you how much of a spread Toastmasters has, all the way to the Far East in Russia, to the Singapores, to the Australias, to the coldest parts of Canada, Alaska, everywhere there are Toastmasters clubs that are present there. What this means is that as Toastmasters, we are a part of a global community. And one of the things that stands out in Toastmasters is that unity of purpose, where we all see ourselves as one, and we do not see ourselves as being this race or being this color or being this profession. We all see ourselves as one, and this is something that actually stands Toastmasters out. What's the structure of Toastmasters International? I usually like to talk about this structure because if you look at this structure, can someone tell me what is strange about this structure? There's something unusual about this structure. You can just put it in the chat if you think that you know what is strange about this structure. What do you think is not correct or is not right about the structure? Yes, I teach Imabon trying to, I call this visualize it, try to act it out. Yes, you see that the triangle is inverted. A triangle is supposed to sit on its base and have the peak at the top, but in this case, it actually is inverted. And this is one of the things that makes Toastmasters unique. What this tells us is that the most important part of a Toastmasters experience is the members. The members are the most important. It's when the members improve that we can say that Toastmasters actually works. And this goes all the way down. As a member, you're the foundation of Toastmasters International. Then you go down to your club. Every member belongs to a club. And then you go down to your area. Every club or a couple of clubs, 3 to 4 to 6 clubs, belong to an area. Down to the division, about 4 to 6 division areas belong to a division. Down to a district, between 3 to, in our case, 24 at the moment, between 3 to 24 divisions belong to a district. Down to the region, in our case, about 10 districts belong to our region, Region 11. And then our region belongs to Toastmasters International. And Toastmasters International is managed by a group of staff. We call them the world headquarters. In normal circumstances, things are supposed to come from the world headquarters all the way down. But in our own case, things actually come from Toastmasters International all the way down. And if you are looking at the chart, you see Azan AG says that the members are being vital, which is very, very correct. In our case, members are very, very vital. And to tell you how vital members are, you see that for those of us that are going to get into our club leadership as president, as vice president education, you will see that later you begin to have some responsibilities that actually affect the way Toastmasters is being governed, all the way to even the way we pay our dues. A good example is for clubs that do self-pay. You will see that for clubs that do self-pay, our vice president education and our president actually did vote for self-pay to happen. That tells you how important our members are. Back to the way the triangle actually is supposed to be, starting with the world headquarters, moving on to our regions. Now we have about 20 regions. This was in 2019, so I'll detail the information again. For the regions, we have about 4 to 8 divisions belonging to a district, and we have about 3 to 6 areas belonging to a division, 4 to 6 clubs belonging to an area, and 20 to 30 members belonging to a club. Now, why is this information important? It's important because sometimes we see clubs grow so much, people want to join those clubs, and we would usually recommend for that club to split. Why do we want clubs to split? We want those clubs to split because it's important that the club officials need to be able to manage the amount of people in that club. When you begin to have close to 50 members, the VP education may not be able to manage all of those 50 people. So we want it to be a number that the VP education is able to manage, the VP membership is able to manage in terms of welfare. And I know that going on, we're going to be talking about role-playing within the Toastmasters community, and hopefully we also get to talk about officials, the roles that officials need to play. You see that the role of a VP membership is not just to understand, not just to get new members, but also to cater to the well-being of the members within your club. We see that the role of the vice president education is not just to arrange for the meetings alone, but you also have to be tactical. Who needs to speak at this meeting? Who needs to speak at the other meeting? Who do we need to send outside? Because sometimes you're speaking within your club, you get comfortable with your club, that speaking within your club is not a problem, but the moment you go out, you mess up. So it's going to be the job of the VP education to monitor people to see that, oh, this person needs to go speak outside so that they can learn the skill of speaking outside of their comfort zone. All of these are things that we need to do as club officials, and we'll be seeing that later in this meeting. What are the benefits that Toastmasters membership gives to us? The first benefit is the very popular one, to improve our public speaking skills. I am a very good example. I used to not want to speak in public. If you're someone that's close to me, you know I am very shy. I would rather not speak. I just want to sit in the corner. But joining Toastmasters has really helped improve my public speaking skills. Another thing also is it helps us to build our leadership skills. Sometimes we just want to enter a position of leadership. You see that every time there's a position of leadership, there's always someone to fill in that position. But are we putting the right people in the right position? Toastmasters helps us to build that leadership skill. One of the things that you'll see in Toastmasters is that you will not usually become an accidental leader. You usually would have been prepared for leadership. One of the things I'm hoping for is that we can take the Toastmasters model and bring it actually to our workplace, our daily life activities. And hopefully, if we have the time, I'm going to talk about the Toastmasters leadership journey, how you actually can become a leader within Toastmasters. And you see that usually you would not just be an accidental leader within Toastmasters. You need to practice writing skills and presenting in a group setting. Of course, one of the things that we do in Toastmasters is to always give speeches. We will give speeches all the time. We would expect that when you're giving your speeches, you would have written those speeches down. Not just writing it down, you'll be able to present it in a group setting. One of the things that you see when you present speeches in a group setting is that people will come and tackle you. Some people will say, oh, no, you should have done it this way. Of course, in Toastmasters, we prefer constructive evaluation. But we always will get that evaluation. We always will get that evaluation. So, Toastmasters allows you to write speeches and present in a group setting. It makes you get a competitive advantage in the workplace. And believe you me, there are people that have taken advantage of this. One of the things that happens in my club, when people come to my club, no matter how highly placed they are, and in my club, believe you me, we've had members that have worked in a lot of the broadcast stations, even as far as BBC. In my club, we've had at least 2 people that have worked with the BBC come join my club. So it means that these people already have that skill of public speaking, but they were looking for more. One of the things that you also would see is that when people get to know what a Toastmaster is, they sort of give you a kind of respect. A kind of respect. So in my club, when people come to my club, you see them scared to speak. Not because they cannot do public speaking, but they are like, these people know better than me. So don't let me fall by hands. Now, take that to the workplace, where you have a boss who understands that outside of the workplace, you have undergone training in public speaking and leadership. Believe you me, except you actually are doing things to negate that fact, your boss would usually place you in a different pedestal compared to all your other colleagues. So becoming a Toastmaster would usually give you a competitive advantage in the workplace. Another advantage is that you get to network in a small and supportive environment. One of the key rules in Toastmasters is that no matter how big you are or how small you are, you must first be open to meeting people. Second, be open to having people meet you. What that means is that if you walk into a Toastmasters meeting, you shouldn't be standing alone. You shouldn't be standing alone. It's going to be one of 2 things. You are either meeting people or people are meeting you. What that means is that in your Toastmasters meeting, if you see a new face there, it is your responsibility to go to that new face and say, hi, my name is Kayode Yussuf. I'm a past president of this club. I'm an IT consultant. What do you do? Then the person introduces themselves to you. If the person is not a member, you can go talk about the benefit of Toastmasters. If the person is a member, maybe from another club, from another city, you can get to talk about your city. If the person is a member, but you had not known the person, you can ask, what do you do? Even if you work in the same organization, you can ask, how's your family? How are your kids? But you must be open to networking in Toastmasters. It's a standing rule. It's not something we negotiate about at all. And believe you me, this has helped me so much that I can walk up to anybody and begin to have a small chit chat with that person. Why? Because I have built that skill of networking. Every time I go to my club meeting, I would always see somebody who I did not know before, go introduce myself to the person, ask the person to introduce themselves, have small chats with the person. Even sometimes when I am busy, the least I will do is I'll hold that person and take the person to TM Imabon and say, TM Imabon, this is a new member that's just come to our club today. Can you please have a word with that person? What I've also done is I've encouraged the both of them to network. So as members of your club, those are things that you must begin to do for yourself and more importantly for your club. The next point is it helps you build self-confidence and self-awareness. Who are you? What values do you have? What qualities do you bring to the table? Things that being a Toastmaster would help you do. Imagine how this will help you in your professional life. Imagine how this will help you when you are working somewhere, you're due for a promotion, and you're able to walk up to your boss and present your case. Not go and tell your boss, sir, I've been working for 20 years, no promotion, nothing. Am I? No. But go present your case. Sir, these are the advantages I bring to this office. I've been here for this amount of years. This is the amount of years that I normally should have been promoted. So I should have been promoted 2 years ago. You presenting your case in a reasonable way actually can make your boss to rethink not promoting you. Toastmasters helps build self-confidence and self-awareness. It helps you with unlimited personal growth. Unlimited personal growth. And most importantly, it helps you to maximize your potentials. One of the things I love about Toastmasters is what we call storytelling skills. And believe you me, if you can make it to the conference, the international conference this year, please plan to make it there, because the international conference this year is going to be based on telling the stories of Toastmasters for the past 100 years. How Toastmasters was able to cope and survive in the midst of about 2 world wars, several pandemic, economic downfalls. How Toastmasters was able to pull through to still be an organization that is globally recognized today. Maximizing your potentials, telling your own stories, presenting yourself in a way that people actually want to meet with you. And that is something that we do in Toastmasters all the time. All the time. When we want to introduce a speaker, we read so many bios about the speakers. Why are we doing that? Because we're placing that speaker on a higher level so that the people he wants to speak with are willing to listen to that person. Maximizing your potentials. Toastmasters will teach you how to maximize your potential, how to see that you are not a normal human, you are above normal, how to see that you are not just here in this world for nothing, that you need to have something to contribute to your community as an human. How do we do this in Toastmasters? The Toastmasters Club experience. One of the things we do is hands-on learning. We are not going to read books. We're not going to read manuals. Yes, we use manuals, but you see that everything in Toastmasters is hands-on. Go do this. Plan this project. It's not just about doing presentations alone. You see that sometimes a project will actually tell you that you need to organize a campaign. You're not going to do a campaign on paper. You're going to do it real life. You see that some projects will tell you, get 3 new members for your club. You see that for you to become a DTM, there are some things that you must have done. For you to be a DTM, you must have built a club. So we're not coming to use mouth to talk, oh, I'm a leader. No. We want to see your action. How actionable is your leadership? What are the proof? What are the results of your leadership? Toastmasters is hands-on. If it's something you dedicate yourself to, I believe you me, close to 70% of Toastmasters are just coming for other reasons, not for the learning reasons. If you dedicate yourself to learning in Toastmasters for 6 months, you will not be the one telling yourself. People will be telling you, you have changed. And I use my club again as an example. If you come to my club today, we are in June, today, and you know all the members in my club today. If you come to my club in December, I can assure you that you will not know more than 5 people, because if we're 30 at the moment, about 20 of those 30 people have moved on. Why have they moved on? Because a research was done why people joined Toastmasters. The number one reason is because they wanted confidence to be able to speak in front of an audience. If you come to my club and you put your mind to this education program, in 6 months or less, you get that confidence. In 6 months or less, you will get that confidence. Guess what? People believe that because they've gotten that confidence, they can move away. No. There's still a lot to learn. A lot to learn. Not just about speaking alone, but even how you prepare your speeches itself, how you interact with people, emotional intelligence. There's a lot to learn. But I can assure you that this learning is hands-on. You get to practice prepared and impromptu speeches. You have opportunities to lead at every meeting. A good example is this. The people that are playing the roles at this meeting, the general evaluator, the grammarian, the timekeeper, those are leadership roles that they are playing. They are the ones managing this meeting that we're in. There's somebody serving as the Zoom master. That person is learning a skill. I'll give you a very good example. When our district was going to move from physical meetings to online meetings, and this is one of the advantages of Toastmasters. Before COVID happened, as far back as 2017, in fact, as far back as 2014, because in Toastmasters, we used to have 2 annual conferences. We called one the spring conference, we called one the summer conference. The summer conference is the one that we have just finished last month in Abuja. In January, we usually have another conference. We call that the spring conference. But Toastmasters saw that the cost of running these conferences were too much. So they reduced those 2 conferences to 1 conference, and they recommended that the first conference should be a virtual conference. That was as far back as 10 years ago, because I remember the last spring conference we did was in Abuja, in a hotel. That was the last spring conference. After that, the district started migrating to online meetings. This was far back before COVID happened. I remember when our past district director, Dr. Aish Moju, was going to become district director, he did ask for my support to say, hey, Kayode, we need support in terms of virtual meetings. I did not know what virtual meetings was at that time, but I thought this is an opportunity to go learn about virtual meetings. Well, I learned about it, and I started hosting virtual meetings. Matter of fact, the 2020 conference, the annual conference of 2020, was done virtually. The point I want to make is that because of this opportunity that came out, when COVID came up and businesses were grounded, I was able to convert this opportunity actually to a sales opportunity. That was what my business was selling just after COVID, before the economy picked up again. So we have opportunities to lead at every meeting, not just to lead, but also to learn. Another thing that we would see with Toastmasters is that we always will receive feedback. Everything you do at Toastmasters, you are being given a feedback. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter whether you're Toastmaster of the day or general evaluator or you're a speaker. You would always get constructive feedback and evaluation. Not to pull you down, but more importantly, to support you and to push you ahead. And then you also will get access to a mentor. I won't talk about this because we will see that in action today. What is the Pathways learning experience? Now, Toastmasters is a lot of things. However, there's an educational aspect to Toastmasters, and that educational aspect is called the Pathways learning experience. As a member of Toastmasters, you have access to Pathways, and I'm sure that there will be a separate training because Pathways is expansive. There will be a separate training for Pathways itself. Every member receives 1 free part when they register. The free part would include a lot of projects. Some of those projects are going to be speaking projects. Some of them will be playing a role at your meeting. Some of them would be you carrying out activities like organizing a program for your club, organizing a program at your workplace. There are 11 parts for you to pick one. The Pathways is something that you can access online. If you want it in print, you can get it printed, but it costs you more money if you get it printed. One exciting thing is that you get to work at your own pace. Now, don't get deceived by working at your own pace. Sometimes people think work at your own pace, and that's how the old Toastmasters experience is. Work at your own pace does not mean that don't get anything done. No. Work at your own pace would mean that do a speech in 2 weeks. After you've done a speech in 2 weeks, take time out to still reflect on that speech that you have done. What could I have done better? Yes, you've gotten evaluation from people, but as the person that did that speech, what are the lapses that you saw in that project that you could have improved on? And most importantly, you get to build professional skills. This is a glimpse into what Pathways is. Pathways is built on 5 core competencies. The first core competence is public speaking skills. Remember I said earlier on that a lot of people join Toastmasters because they want to build that competency of having the confidence to speak in front of an audience. So that's the first core competence that you will be able to benefit from pathways. The second one is interpersonal skills, interpersonal communication skills. The third one is strategic leadership. Strategic leadership is very important. As a leader, your number one role is strategy. It's not operations. It's not getting things done. No, it's not put this chair here, put that chair here. No, no, no. It's in 20 years, where will this organization be? In 30 years, where will this organization be? That place you want to be in 30 years, you can't get there in one day. You have to plan towards it. So your role will be, yes, we want to get to this level in 30 years. So if I am the leader in this place in 5 years, what must I do that when I am leaving this place in 5 years' time, what must I have done that will ensure that the person that will be here in 30 years' time would achieve what they're supposed to achieve? If I'm going to be achieving that in 5 years, what do I need to start doing now, today, to ensure that by the time I'm living in 5 years, the things that we need to achieve in 30 years are achieved? Strategy. We get to learn this in Toastmasters. Management, managing people, managing resources, managing skills, managing time. All of these are things that we get to learn. And number 5 is confidence. The parts that we see here are the 11 parts that we have in Toastmasters. Dynamic leadership, effective coaching, engaging humor, innovative planning, leadership development, motivational strategies, a lot of parts. Now you see some numbers written beside those parts. Those numbers are the core competencies that you will learn when you actually go through these specific parts. What this means is that if you do the dynamic leadership part, you will learn skill 1, which is public speaking skill, skill 2, which is interpersonal communication skill, skill 3, which is strategic leadership, skill 5, which is confidence. How do you learn these skills? You learn these skills by the objectives of the speeches that you get to be building, that you'll be doing. For instance, you see that 1 and 5 is prominent across all of them. Why? Because for all of these, you'd have to stand in front of an audience to speak. The more you stand in front of an audience, the more confident you get. So you're building public speaking skills and you're building confidence standing in front of an audience. Interpersonal communication skills. What this would mean is that for some of these projects, you would have to meet with people, meet with your mentors, meet with your club members, meet with professionals in the field. One of the good examples I have about this is the term Chimaeze Ife, who wanted to do a speech about Lagos State. He's an Igbo guy, he's from the Southeast, but he wanted to do a speech about Lagos State. Guess what? He had to go to the Ministry of Tourism. He had to go to the Ministry of Culture and Tourism to go and do research about the Eyo Festival, about Lagos State. So for him to do this, he would have built interpersonal communication skills, because he will go and meet a civil servant who possibly does not want to speak with him. He has to convince that person to speak with him. These are the skills that we will learn from pathways. I see that the red flag is up and my time is up. And for the respect of time, I would be bringing this to a close by just giving a conclusion that Toastmasters is not just about doing speeches alone. We also catch funds. This was us at the district conference in Lome last year. This was us at the Toastmasters Nigeria conference in June last year. This was us in the district conference in Abuja this year. And I invite you to participate, be a member, and most importantly, enjoy the benefits that Toastmasters membership offers. Thank you very much, and over to you, Madam Toastmaster of today.
Wow, wow, woo. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Kayode Yussuf. I'm honored to have you share your expertise with us. Please, can you confirm? Let me try to unmute everyone. Let's just unmute and give him a round of applause. Let me know that you can unmute. Everybody, you can unmute now. Everyone, I think you can unmute. Try to unmute and let's... Yay. In the chat.
Yeah.
In the chat, can you write one thing you have learned from a session? I only have 3 minutes to wrap up this session. One thing you have learned from a session in the chat, please. Who can write the 5 competencies that he said you get as a Toastmasters on the pathway. Who can do that? Who can do that? Anybody? I'm waiting for responses. Anybody responding? Let me see. Okay. Public speaking. Toastmaster Deza, good to see you. I'm waiting for Pssdc members. Confidence. Fantastic. Pssdc members, what did you learn? Confidence, Pamela. Okay. I'm going to segue for the next 3 minutes and just segue very quickly into personal relationship, leadership skills. Fantastic. You were here, you were present. Thank you. Being open to network. Thank you. Strategic leadership. That is so critical. Thank you so much, Kayode Yussuf. I think I'm going to bring Kahoot in when we are done with the entire session. I don't want to do that now. So